I'm on this mission to help you calm the toxic voice in your head so you can grow your impact. Now, this is part 4 of 4 videos on how to develop self-belief. Now, the fourth way is of developing self-belief is through verbal persuasion. Now, what that means is by watching, listening, and hearing stories from people who have surmounted obstacles. When you hear their story and their journey and how they overcame setbacks, it helps develop self-belief in you. And it's such a powerful thing. It's because what you realize is, especially when you read autobiographies, because you really hear the author, you get inside their head and you really see and feel what they were feeling, and then you'll realize it's the same as how you're feeling when you're suffering a setback or when you're in that space of lacking self-belief. You'll notice that they're feeling the same. But what you'll also learn is what they did to overcome their challenges as well. And it's such an empowering thing. So what kind of autobiographies? Sports people who've reached the top of their game, hearing how they surmounted obstacles. As an entrepreneur, highly recommend reading other entrepreneurs' biographies. One that I love I've read it twice, is Total Recall by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Regardless of what he did in his personal life, you cannot deny what he did in business. First of all, reaching the peak in bodybuilding, and then as an entrepreneur, he did so much. And then, of course, in movies, and then he got elected into government as well. It's quite incredible what he did. But what you'll notice when you read it is how big he thought. It was amazing. So I found that incredible. Also, reading the autobiography of Nike founder, Shoe Dog. Brilliant. How close he came to failing. He didn't know what he was doing. A lot of these entrepreneurs, they just don't know what they're doing. So that's encouraging in a way, because don't you feel like that all the time? You don't, like, what am I doing? You don't know, right? Okay, you hear what you should be doing, but your journey is slightly different anyway. And equally, when you're an employee working in an organization, and just listening to how people surmounted their obstacles, it just fills you up a bit. It fills you up a bit, and that's enough to make you put a bit more effort in that day, which is enough to make you take bolder, more decisive action, and you'll start seeing results, and that creates a virtuous cycle. So if you can do a little, watch or read or listen to inspiring stories and journeys, what documentaries? Netflix is great. What's a really good one? The Defiant Ones on Netflix. It's the story of Dr. Dre and the other guy, how they created Beats the headphone. Just hearing how they just hustled. It's inspiring. It's enough to fill you up to then put more effort in, to take a different action, bolder action, riskier action, and then you get the results, and that becomes the virtuous cycle. It's enough to, as long as it's enough to just lift you up a bit more, because it makes such a difference. Because for you to deliver the results you want, for you to have a different result, a massively different result, all it takes is consistent daily action of just doing that little bit more. Because all it takes is just doing something a little bit different every day to get a different result, here's the thing, to get a different result in your life, right? If you want to create massive changes in your life, if you want to get massively different results in your life, all it requires is a little bit different action every day, trying a little bit harder every day, continuing to push yourself out of your comfort zone. Because if you push yourself a little bit today, that little bit becomes, it was the ceiling today, it becomes the ground you walk on the next day. All right? And then you're walking on that ground, you push a little bit further, push the ceiling higher, that becomes your ground. So if you push yourself a little bit every day, it's the compound effect. It's so powerful. And there's a wonderful example from the book Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. He gives a brilliant analogy. Like, imagine if you're in an aeroplane and you're flying from London to New York. Okay, you're flying from London to New York, and imagine the pilot has just left London, and if they were 1 degree off kilter, if they were 1 degree off the direction they're supposed to go. 1 degree is not much to begin with, but if they continue on that trajectory, they might end up in, I don't know, Florida. I don't know, the geography or physics or whatever it might be. See what I mean? So that's the power of the compound effect. So for you to make massive changes and get massive results in your life requires just a little bit different action every day. That's all. Bursting through that new ceiling, and each day walking on that ceiling, becoming the floor you walk on. You're creating a new ceiling each day, that's all, which is your new floor to walk on, all right? So I hope that helps you start developing self-belief in yourself. Can you tell me, what action are you going to take today? Who will you go and observe? Who will you go and read? What stories will you go and read? What journeys will you learn about that will help you in your journey? And then tell me, what action will you take as well, okay? I hope this helps you. If it does, please share it. Please click like. And if you don't like it, don't say anything. And also, please subscribe. Subscribe to you'll see down below, subscribe to my website. You'll get more goodies in your inbox. I'm Annelies Kizzelbach, and my mission is to help awaken your potential. See you next time. Bye.